Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's Thursday, September 26th. Sean Higgs, and on every Thursday, Doug Upstone Chip Chirimbes join me here. We're going to be talking some NFL football today, but before we get into that, be sure to take a moment, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bells on here on the Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast channel because we give you free plays 5 days a week, including a couple live shows, Monday Night Live for the Football Friday Live, 1 p.m. Eastern. Be part of that. And, of course, all the recorded videos that we do. Chip Chirimbes as well with some Paul Bovey and Jim Feist free picks as well. Right. Multiple videos, multiple cappers. Matt Fargo joined us this week. Brian Bittler, Marc Lawrence, and Victor King with me live tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So plenty of free picks for you. And then, listen, that's the free stuff. That's good. We're fine with the free stuff. Yesterday, me and Brian gave out 2 football games, college. Me, Matt, and Chip on Tuesday, 2-1 with our picks. The 3 of us on Monday, 1-1-1 with our baseball. I went 2-0. I'm just saying I went 2-0 in those games, just by the way. But listen, if you want the premium stuff, right, these are just free plays. And we like to win our free picks because, Football Friday, 8-4. Not a bad run on Football Fridays. Again, I'm on here quite a few times. I'm just saying 4-1 in college football, 4-1 in NFL. I'm doing all right on the free picks. But get the premium at gamblersworld.net. 3 730 packages guaranteed. We show you a profit at time, or we credit you back and you go get on board somebody else. I know Chip has been on a tear. I was with Brian Bittler the other day. He's been on a tear. Doug has been winning. So, listen, we got you covered. I think Kyle Hunter is like 20-5 in his baseball, and he's a little more pickier when it comes to games. But we're making money, folks. Gamblersworld.net for the premium stuff. Go get it. Go get it. I think there's like a $199 for the end of baseball through the World Series. Football still around $7.99 through Super Bowl. A lot of action. A lot of action for everybody. But we're good. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go down to Chip Chirimbes here because he's back. He was traveling yesterday. He's back in Vegas with the showgirls and show boys. I don't even know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they're all here.
Yes, I don't know.
Not that you can tell them apart anymore.
Okay, then. It's the makeup. Everybody likes to wear, Caleb Williams wants to put on nail polish. I don't know. It's whatever. I don't know, Chip. Enough about the wackiness of today's youth. How are things going on the sites for you?
Well, posted a single-day baseball game, so that's 3 days. Day 1, yes, and the baseball just seems to be there. It's a little bit more difficult now, and Doug and Sean, you both admit, because there's so many teams that have been eliminated, and some of the lines are so inflated with teams that need to win. But we've managed to find some pick'em games in around there, and fortunately, they've worked out in Major League Baseball. And of course, coming off the football game of the year winner on Saturday and Megabucks on Sunday, the easy win with the Philadelphia Eagles, never in doubt against the Saints. We got more of the same coming this weekend, though. I'm looking forward to it.
There you go, Chip. I'm excited, Susie. Chip, Doug, yourself. How's it going?
Hey, I'm ready to go too. Another big weekend coming for football, and definitely looking forward to that. In fact, I have a play tonight at Gamblers World on tonight's Thursday night NFL game, so that is available. Last weekend had a winning week, had a winning Saturday, had a winning NFL week, so we look to continue that coming up. I hit both my best bets. We're going to be looking to do that as well. So there's some good things there, and I can't catch Chip. I mean, he's just been on fire. So we'll leave that alone. But let's talk about the playoffs. Last 3 years, I've hit 60%, got a profit of well over $1,200, okay, to back that up. And so looking forward to playoff baseball where literally everything matters for all the participating teams. And who knows, based on whatever happens with Atlanta and the New York Mets, they might be playing 3 games in 24 hours, okay, or thereabouts, one or both of those teams.
But you know what? I was going to say, I want to say, you mentioned premium stuff. Go to gamblersworld.net for that. Also, we mentioned on Monday, Doug's little write-ups he does for like look headline kind of stuff. But let's talk playoff baseball because we kind of have some playoff baseball, right? The Yanks are still looking to clinch even though they're in it, but like the Royals, the Twins, kind of must-win games. The Padres sort of still could catch the Dodgers a little bit.
Don't forget the Tigers.
The Tigers are 2 games up, so they're kind of I don't say they're safe, but they're in a spot where they're at least 2. They're tied with the Royals, but the Royals have the Braves coming up now. How does Major League Baseball? we knew the rain was coming, right? I mean, they could they not do a doubleheader the day before yesterday and maybe just miss one game instead of 2 games? How are you going to have these teams play? That's not about the money. That's embarrassing.
But
don't go like that.
All of a sudden, I don't
You
think
can't. Hold on a second. Forget this. They could still do a day-night doubleheader on a Tuesday, and do what? Except we're doing it on a. You totally disparage your product because one of those teams, if maybe somebody sweeps the weekend, it doesn't even come to Monday, right? That's their hope that it doesn't come to a doubleheader on Monday where the Mets are playing Milwaukee, then they're in Atlanta for 2, then they're in San Diego, or we're in Kansas City, Atlanta, and San Diego. And that's just Sean, if it's San Diego. It could be who knows? It could be Arizona.
You made a good point. If it comes down where they have to play the doubleheader, would they do a day-night doubleheader so they get 2 admissions? I think that's probably what they would end up doing.
I would agree. Here's part of the problem, though. Don't blame just baseball. Okay, today's game. Okay, today's scheduled game with Atlanta was a makeup game. Okay. It was a makeup game from the last time those 2 teams played in Atlanta. They had the option, both teams did, to play on Monday, and they chose to pass on it. Okay, so it's not just baseball. Could baseball? Should they have forced their hand and made them do that? That's a decision somebody else can make that decision. But the teams chose not to play on Monday. And the same one, they knew there was a hurricane coming too. So,
that just proves to me, you know what? They know that somebody's going to choke down the stretch here. I don't even have the records in front of me. That Monday's not even going to come into play then. It won't even come into play. Somebody's losing. It won't even make a difference then.
Well, I mean, conceivably that could happen. Yeah, no question about it. Actually, I think the team that I feel worse for right now is Kansas City because was it Sale and who was supposed to pitch today for Atlanta? I can't remember who it is, but another one of their top pitchers.
Strollenbach, Sale.
Yeah, he pitched Tuesday, so I know he's out, but I forget who the other one is. But so instead, Kansas City gets Sale and the other guy because of the 2 days off. Okay, so they get dealt a bad hand on that one. So we'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, so I mean, I know people. Sometimes the obvious things to blame people are there, but there's usually more to the story,
I would imagine, Doug, that the reason they didn't agree to play that game on Monday, it probably violated one of their union rules about playing consecutive games on certain days. They need a certain amount of days off.
Otherwise, they want their days off.
Why wouldn't they play it? I don't understand why they wouldn't play it.
Yeah, and the Mets did play at night on Sunday night, so that's not necessarily advantageous either. Right. Nonetheless, they would have been off Thursday if that's the case.
And they knew the weather was coming. I mean, we knew this for a week, for crying out loud.
Right. So I mean, there was things that could have been done, and basically all the parties failed. I don't think. Well, for this one thing, okay. Is anybody really? I mean, if you're a Mets fan, Atlanta fan, or a Kansas City fan, okay, you feel bad for your teams in this situation. Does anybody else really care? No. If the players didn't get a day off, oh well. Because not that we're doing something as important, but how many days off do you guys take off? I mean, just walk away from this, So I'm not saying it's the same thing. I'm not even saying that. But the fact of the matter is that we do work. There's sports 360 360
every day. Yeah.
So
there's no day off now.
No.
So
they used to have a day or 2 off. Now they more.
WNBA had that up for us when they started playing through the All-Star break.
But anyway, so it's a day off for me.
Yeah.
I like to say when it comes down to they have a 1-game playoff. This is terrible. Major League Baseball has to change. Well, no. How about you win the rando game back in May,
right?
And you don't have to worry about that. Instead of having it's a throwaway game and you bring up the 4A pitcher, the guy, the long relief kind of guy, where you're kind of it's a bullpen day. We'll see what happens. Well, let's see what happens. Now you're in a possible situation where you're in a 1-game playoff with a team. It's like football. I can't believe they didn't cover. Well, how about you make a stop and then you cover? How about that? It wouldn't even be a question if the defense came to show up, right? Whether you have the favorite, more for favorites, right? I mean, if you take a favorite, well, if the defense showed up for the game, favorites win every time. It's the same kind of thinking here. And also, the Royals, they'll have Raggins and Lugo available if they really need them this weekend. But they're up right now 4-1. So that'll punch them up to a 2.5 over Minnesota. So honestly, the way Minnesota's been playing, we might not even have to worry about the Kansas City kind of mail, them facing Sale. They could just mail it in and be like, you know what, let's set up our pitching. We're worried about.
They've been as soft as Twinkies, that's for sure.
I'm kind of sad because I really want to see kind of Seattle get in there, but man, Detroit's a nice little story the way they've played the last 3 weeks of baseball. I've been high on Kansas City. I kind of like, I like Singer, Raggins. It's a nice little, Lugo's a feel-good story, even Waka coming back. But like Seattle's pitching, I was like, man, I'd love to see them because I think they have the best kind of staff number-wise. But not going to happen. Seattle, no playoffs probably. Anyway, good play. It's been a good baseball season. Can't really complain, right? Ohtani's 60-60. Judge, he's doing his best Dan Pasco impersonation. He's the righty Dan Pasco, I like to call him. Chip.
Chris Sale?
Sale, yeah. Well, Sale, come on.
17-3, Cy Young and comeback player of the year.
Yep, Sal and Skubal too. That's
Skubal, great Triple Crown season for a pitcher there as well. So it's been a good baseball season. All right, enough about the baseball. People are gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, it's baseball, it's football, it's Thursday night." You didn't even talk about the Cowboys Giants. Who cares about Cowboys Giants? This is ridiculous. Dallas has won 9 in a row against these guys. Outscored them last year, 84-17. Should they win this game? Yeah, who cares? You want the premiums? Go for the premiums football. We're talking NFL Sunday action and. Doug Upstone has Washington, Arizona, and he's going to be looking at a little player prop in this game. But just for the sides and total, it's a total of 50, a 3-point point spread for Arizona over Washington. The Commies coming in with a monster win in Cincinnati. Daniel, this team has not turned the ball over yet this year. As bad as the play was oh, these rookie quarterbacks are terrible. This kid didn't even have a turnover yet. He's playing fabulous. I should have grabbed the 5, but I was thinking, you know what? Back-to-back road games for rookie QB. I'm really not interested. He's playing well. He looks like the best of the bunch. I want to take the 3. I know, listen, Cliff Kingsbury's taken over a lot better than Eric Bieniemy last year. Offense is kind of chugging along. He drafted Kyler Murray. I'm thinking over. I kind of like the dog, but Doug, this is your puppy here, and I know you got a couple things to talk about side total-wise, but go with it.
Yes, in fact, in about roughly, let's see here. So at the present time, about an hour from right now, as you're watching this, I'll have the pick for this game, and it will be the total, okay, in this particular one. But instead, I did not like the side, so I went and looked at some props, and I've got a couple things that I liked here. One of them, speaking of Jaden Daniels, and it came down from yesterday to today, is it's at plus 115 for an anytime touchdown. This guy has 3 touchdowns rushing in 3 games. A dynamic runner. We've known that since his days at Arizona State here. And when they get into the red zone, I mean, literally, he's a threat to score. Okay, not unlike Jalen Hurts was specifically 2 years ago, or going on 3 years now, in the red zone. So with the game total hovering right around 50, I think Jaden Daniels is an excellent choice for this. And what I just like what he's got going there. Also, speaking of Washington, Terry McLaurin. Okay, I think McLaurin and him they look like they're starting to really get on the same page. I was tempted with the 4.5 receptions to go over on McLaurin, but I actually like the over on the yardage, which is at 56.5 on this one. I think that when you look at Arizona, they are 29th in the NFL. 31st in the NFL in yards per attempt against them. So I think McLaurin can get behind the secondary, of Arizona, and maybe just literally even one big play could take this thing over. So I like over on McLaurin at 56.5 yards receiving.
Here we go. McLaurin over 56. The other night he was a total of 39.5. I'm like, or maybe he's 50. I'm like, this guy's got 39 yards on the year. Like, what the heck is this total? And yet he exploded. Maybe it carries over. The show pick, McLaurin over 56.5 yards minus $1.10. Shop around on the totals with this kind of stuff, folks. Different books have different kind of numbers on this. Always find a good number there. Chip, anything to add about these two
I
programs?
don't think there's any question that this guy's the best of the lot, Daniels. He won the Heisman last year. I mean, he's got a quick release. He's a fast runner, and he's very accurate. Washington had lost 8 straight games. They're now 2-1 under him. They've gone over 7 of their last 10. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. And although I think this game goes over the total, I just think Murray maybe this year has come back with a new attitude. Last week he was shut down. But this Daniels was so exciting. I mean, I was sick as a dog that I didn't have him last Sunday, and I took that great Jacksonville team. But we can't win every game. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, we'll talk about Jacksonville later, but I think this game goes over.
There we go. Yeah, I'll have that Jacksonville Texan games. But we'll go right back to Chip here with Minnesota and Green Bay. Nice story for both these teams here. Sam Darnold's playing well. And Malik Willis, comes in, wins a game. Green Bay, a 2.5-point favorite, total of 43.5 here. Listen, I kind of like the under here. It's going to be kind of run-heavy Green Bay kind of squad. Good defenses. Not my pick. It's your pick. Go ahead with it.
Well, we have Minnesota 3-0, and that's with J.J. McCarthy. Oh, no, he's not there. Sam McDonald's there. My goodness, how Vikings were picked to come last in this division. Totally. And Darnold has matured, and their defense has played well. If J.J. McCarthy doesn't get hurt, where are the Vikings? Are the Vikings going to continue this I don't want to call it a charade, but they beat the Giants, and they did beat the Niners. God bless them. But I think this game stays under, like you said, and the quarterbacks are the reason. All right. No, Jordan Love is Jordan Love is questionable. Malik Willis filled in last week. Is Willis going to have the same type of game he had the week before? And is Jordan Love fully up to par? Sometimes these guys get out there, if they're not 100%, they're actually hurting people. These two teams have alternated wins and losses last 6 times out. I think the game stays under the total. I really do. And mostly because of Green Bay's quarter. I think Green Bay's going to look to concentrate on keeping the ball and holding the ball and keep it away from Minnesota. Darnold has been really hot, to a lot of people's surprise. I mean, he was just a pickup, and they were looking to start J.J. McCarthy, and maybe the biggest break they got was him getting injured.
Under the 43.5 official Chip play. I don't like McCarthy. I like Darnold a little bit. But Doug, thoughts?
Yeah, on this one, how can you not be impressed with what Minnesota's done? And offensively, all the credit goes to Kevin O'Connell. I mean, he has stabilized, Darnold, got him playing to his strengths. And this offensive line has gotten a lot better, so they can run the ball at least efficiently, and they're certainly pass blocking well. Green Bay and their defense has been fantastic, by the way. A swarming defense, very difficult to figure out by opposing teams. Packers have looked good on both sides of the ball. They weren't great against Philadelphia in the opener, but, just how we've seen the level of play right now in the entire NFL isn't exactly high level right now. Packers, though, interceptions. I mean, they have as many interceptions right now as they had all of last season. So the change in defensive coordinator has more ball hawking going on. This is going to be a little bit of a simplistic way to look at this game, but I think this is an ego game. Okay. And what I mean by that is that, Detroit's supposed to be the top dog, and the Packers and Minnesota at this time believe they are equal to Detroit. And so with this being a natural division rivalry, I think that there's going to be a lot involved in terms of wanting to prove something. Came across the situation, though, I could not ignore. When a game is +3 to -3, and it's a conference game, and one team is off a blowout upset of 21 or more points as an underdog, in their next game, they are 4-23 against the spread. I'm going to take the Packers because of that for my pick on the show.
All right. Listen, I thought the Bears were going to be the worst team. The hype on Caleb Williams, but I did not know what we were getting on Minnesota with McCarthy. But official show pick, 43.5 under the total here from Chip Chirimbes. Again, folks, these are free picks. The premium stuff at gamblersworld.net. 3-7-38 pack is guaranteed. As always, we show a profit or we credit you back. And again, use the leaderboard. Win or lose, always the truth. You see how we do. So there you go. I got the Jags and Texans. Houston, 6-point, not 6.5, 6-point fave, total of 45.5. And we're going to be simple here. I'll be pretty simple, cut and dry. Texans are 0-3 ATS. They went on the road. Said Minnesota team came in, really took care of C.J. Stroud, young quarterback, looked confused versus a decent defense on the road. Here comes the Jags, 0-3. You lose by 37. Lawrence has dropped 7 of 8. 9 of his last 11. Are you kidding me? 0-8 ATS as road dogs in their division. Give me Jacksonville +6. This was a 4, thinking the Jags maybe play a little good football. And I was kind of high on Jags. Like, hey, people are sleeping on them. They were supposed to be a playoff team last year. They look absolutely atrocious. I think their coach, if they lose here, I think the coach is fired Monday morning. All that being said, the little monkey grinder, little Curious George guy in my head is saying Texans just going to win by a touchdown. Easy money. I'm going to take the 6. I had the Jags on Monday night +6. It didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. One last time back to the well on these cats. One last time plus the 6. Give me the Jaguars and the 6. Doug probably thinks I'm insane for taking them, but whatever.
I know. I don't think I'm gonna end up disagreeing with you, but for a different reason than what you think. Because I was on the same thought process. Here's what I'd like to bring up. So Doug Peterson, the coach, talked about making changes. Okay, and one of the rumored changes was Trevor Lawrence maybe have taken a seat, which I would find very ironic because wasn't it just right before the end of the season they changed the name of the stadium from Everbank Stadium to put a TR, so now it's Trevor Bank Stadium. Okay,
oh my goodness,
on the outside of the stadium. So that would be an embarrassing situation to have to take down the TE off the stadium if he got benched. So we'll see how that played. But on Tuesday, Sean, this line was 7, and on that when it was 7, I agreed. Okay, or I would agree with you to take Jacksonville at 7. Under 7, I'm having, and I also like the fact, by the way, the road team in the last 5 times they played, 5-0 straight up and against the spread. That's also another positive for you. But at below this number, I just think that Jacksonville looks like such a mess. I just a slight lean here for me with Houston at the lower number.
Agreed. Okay. Chip, thoughts on this? And anything particular happen on the 26th day of September?
Well, I'll tell you about that.
1743.
Is Jacksonville's being coached by Doug Peterson? Is that the same guy that had the Eagles when he laid down the final game? Okay, I want nothing to do with Jacksonville, especially after what I saw on Monday night. But then again, remember what I said, no team is as bad next week as they were last week. Really in a quandary here because, Jacksonville looks so ugly. How do you take them? And it's Jacksonville or nobody, and I'm not using the game. How's that? But
that's fine.
But I got something for Doug. Doug, 1908, that's the year the Cubs won the World Series. I don't know if you remember. They had a pitcher named Ed Rulbach. He pitched 2 ends of a doubleheader against the Brooklyn Supers. 3-0, 5-0. First time doubleheader shutouts. Guy had 2 complete games. 1926, they try to speed up the rules in baseball, right? I mean, they're doing everything they can. 7-inning games. They're going to go to 2 outs in 6 innings before it's over. But in 1926, the Yankees had wrapped up the pennant so early, and they played a doubleheader. The first game went 72 minutes. They lost 6-1 to Cleveland. The second game went 55 minutes. They lost 6-2. They played a doubleheader in 1 hour and 27 minutes. And boy, they'd love to see that happen today, wouldn't it? Jeez. And this one's for Jim Quinn. In 1954, the Philadelphia A's, then a member of an American League, of course, played their final game at Shibe Park against the Yankees. They won 8-6. And Billy Hunter in 1953 hit a home run for the St. Louis Browns on their final game. The next year they moved to Baltimore. I can tell you that Warren Spahn became the winningest pitcher, lefty, in baseball history on this date in 1959. 363 wins, didn't win a game until he was 26 years old. You go figure that. 20 years, he had 17 20-game winning seasons. And the last thing I'd like to tell you about is that the Nolan Ryan pitched his 5th no-hitter on this date in 1981. most of this stuff is baseball because it has significance. I'll start filtering in some more football pretty soon. But there you go. And if you want Jacksonville, you take Doug Peterson. I want no part of him.
And then along with that, by the way, I'm sorry, one thing is then, Chip, the history is being made today. Okay. The Oakland A's last home game.
There we go.
True. Let's see what happens there. And they're going to play next year in Sacramento. Is that right?
That is correct. They're going to play.
I don't understand why they don't come. Well, anyway, that's baseball.
They're going to play an AstroTurf, okay, because they're changing the field because the minor league team and the major league team are going to play in the same field. And the temperatures in Vegas, I believe, in the summertime are lower than what they are in Sacramento as a whole.
They play all night games out here, and it's a beautiful park.
What's that?
I say they play all night games out here. It's a beautiful park, but it's certainly not major league standards as far as capacity. That's for sure.
Well, the one in Sacramento won't be either.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, the A's. All right, listen, official play for me in this game, Jags +6 for the video. Chip Chirimbes likes Green Bay Packers under 43.5. Doug Upstone is going player prop Washington and Arizona over McLaurin's 56.5 receiving yards. 3 free picks here in the video. Premium
and
stuff.
Daniels. You forgot.
Daniels, anytime touchdown.
Yes.
Anytime touchdown, +115. 3 738 packages guaranteed at Gamblers World for all the premium stuff. Thursday Night Football, posted. College football tonight, posted. NFL for Sunday, posted. College football for Friday, posted. Go to gamblersworld.net. Articles from Doug, videos from other cappers. That's the Kyle Hunter one. We got you covered here, gamblersworld.net. So hit the like button. Let's get the counter up here. Be sure to come back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Victor King, Marc Lawrence, myself, our live Football Friday show. I appreciate both you gentlemen. I will see you guys on Monday. We'll be back. And have a nice weekend. And for the viewers as well, take it easy. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.